Today's episode, we're going to do a little how-to. This is our first time doing this. We're actually going to cut this drive shaft down that goes in the 56 Chevy gasser. Something that happened a couple episodes ago when we were installing it with that drive shaft loop. It just was too long. Don't know what happened. I think we mocked it up with a different size yoke here. So that being said, we got to cut the drive shaft and take 1 3/8 out of it. So today we'll show you how to do that.
So the best way to keep this thing straight, because we want to keep both of these U-joints in the same spot, is I'm just going to tack weld a piece of angle iron right onto the drive shaft. And then when we cut it, we're going to cut our 1 3/8 out from the middle of this area somewhere in here. And then when we put it back together, we'll have the angle iron that we can just line back up, and that way we should be really close to where we need to be.
So we took out a little bit of the paint on the silver sections because that is just a silver spray paint. This was a single stage that we painted the bottom side of the car with. So we're going to try to cut our 1 3/8 out of the silver section so that it's easy to repair this cool candy cane paint job that we have on here. So now that we've got this section cut off, we're going to mark back our 1 3/8 on the drive shaft, slide this forward, set the blade on it, and let it rip. Well, there you have it. Our 1 3/8 section cut out of the drive shaft.
It looks like this is about 1/8 inch thick material, so I'm going to just bevel this down on both ends, and I'm going to skip the spot right here where the angle iron is for now, and I'll tack it in a few places around this thing, and then we'll cut this back off once we get it straight and on there, and then I'll re-bevel that little area, and then we can fully TIG weld the whole thing around.
So this is what we've came up with. We've got a bunch of angle iron clamped around this drive shaft, and everything marks out to where it's nice and flat with a straight edge. And we've got a piece of angle with 2 clamps over top of the angle that we originally welded from top to bottom on this drive shaft so that this is clocked properly. So the bandsaw looks like it cut pretty straight too. There's only like a hairline area where we're going to be like full penetration all the way through. But this should work pretty good, and there we go. Alright, so it's all tacked together. We're going to take all these clamps and angle iron off of it. See what we're working with. Well, we're definitely 1 3/8 shorter now, so that's always good.
Check it with a straight edge.
Yep.
Looks really good.
So after we take the clamps off, we ran a straight edge all the way around. Our angles here are lined up good, which clocks our yokes where they need to be. That's your main concern there. We got the edges beveled here where we could, So we're going to cut these welds off of the angle iron, run a little grinder or burr bit in there and just clean that out, bevel it a little bit, and then Dad's going to use a TIG welder and TIG weld this up. Well, we've got the drive shaft up in here. What we did was just shoot a little primer on it for now, and on the bare spots that we tacked up, we had to grind those smooth. Like I said, you just want to be careful that you don't dig into this when you're cutting that piece of angle off or grinding the tack welds off, so you don't ruin the structural integrity of the drive shaft. But now it actually fits. We got our little drive shaft loop here. We can kind of show you. It's all painted up and TIG welded by Dad. So that slides in just like that. We've got plenty of room top and bottom there. And we've got enough slip on this yoke into the transmission now where it's not going to cause any binding like it was before. So yeah, drive shaft's in. We'll probably be lowering this down or maybe even running some fuel lines for next episode. We're trying to hopefully have this thing done by sometime this winter. So we got a lot of work ahead of us for this year. And yeah, we'll have some good episodes for you guys. Thanks for watching.